Tonight on CTV, Bernie Sanders comes to campus and causes a stir between students.
Then, a fatal house fire here in Fort Collins.
And later, a new food option in the Laurie Student Center.
All this and more starting right now on CTV.
Good evening, Rams, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlo Lundak.
And I'm Kyle Witter. Let's get started with Edgar Cedillo, who has some coverage on an on-campus event last night.
Bernie Sanders was back on campus for the second time in 4 years last night, campaigning for Colorado gubernatorial and representative candidates.
Bernie Sanders was on campus yesterday as he campaigned for Democratic candidates running in the state.
The massive student loan debt that deprives young folks of the ability to achieve their dreams.
Jared Polis was also back at CSU to rally students to vote for him.
And this election is all about making sure that not only are your voices heard, but the elected officials who work for you act on them to help make college more affordable, to help reduce the cost of health care, to help act on climate.
Polis wasted no time taking jabs at his opponent, Walker Stapleton.
We have a fork in the road. We can either elect a Donald Trump yes man.
Sanders then took the stage and rallied students to vote for Polis and Neguse.
Let me not only ask all of you to be voting for Jared and Joe and the other great candidates.
Many CSU students were thrilled at the opportunity to see Sanders in person.
Well, I've been a big fan of Bernie since the primaries of the last presidential election, and I'm just really excited to see him.
Senator Michael Bennet also came back from Washington, D.C. to encourage student voting.
And that's because we need you to vote in this election.
Students from different ideologies also went to go see Bernie Sanders.
For the mere part, obviously I'm not a Bernie supporter. I want to better craft my argument so I'm more aware of the other side's political argument.
Sanders ended with the message for Colorado voters.
I want to give a personal thank you to the people of Colorado who gave us a great victory in the 2016 Democratic presidential.
Fort Collins residents who were at the rally also encouraged students to participate in the democratic process.
Oh, please, vote. I don't care if you vote Democrat or Republican. Make your voice heard.
Wow, so Bernie Sanders on campus sounds like a really cool event. Edgar, you want to give us some takeaways from that?
Yeah, I think Bernie I think his biggest message was that Democrats definitely need to rally together and get out and vote. I think we've been hearing a lot of that talk from Democrats this midterm election, so I think rallying students is kind of a way to fire them up and start bringing that bigger vote just because they really want students and they want that vote. So I think they're really trying to get more Democrats in to the House of Representatives, more governors into office too. So.
Wow, that's great. I remember when Bernie Sanders came my freshman year, I waited in line all day, and then I got to shake his hand, and it was awesome.
Yep.
It was
and
really
definitely
cool.
A lot of people did wait in line. I saw, as you saw in the package, lines were out towards the lagoon, so it was definitely a wait. Packed, I heard attendance was about 1,800 people, so
wow.
There were a ton of people. So
very
That's
cool.
impressive.
Great event. So.
Thanks, Edgar.
Yep, thank you guys.
Last night after the Get Out the Vote rally, tensions arose when a group of black students approached a white student wearing Make America Great Again memorabilia. The students told the Collegian they had intended to have a non-confrontational conversation about her support of President Trump. After several minutes of heated argument, the Trump supporter told the black students to, quote, go back to Africa. Here is the exclusive video of the altercation.
What he said we were racist. What I'm telling y'all is what we not finna do is call us racist because we're spitting facts at you. Your ancestors, are you white? Are you white?
Yes.
Are you white?
I'm a proud white person.
You're a proud white person? Your ancestors went to Africa and took us from Africa. That's how we got here.
Can I ask you?
They took you?
Can I ask
They
you?
took my What are you trying to say? What do you mean they took me? Yes, it's simple fact.
They took the ancestors just means they took her. Okay? Because we could have been in Africa. That's the thing. We could have been, but they took the ancestors.
Okay.
Can I ask you?
Would you rather be in
black
Africa?
people? Yes, I am proud. I was born in Africa, raised for
person is dead and 2 others are injured after a fire broke out Wednesday morning on Summit Street, southwest of the intersection of Prospect Road and Overland Trail. The fire damaged multiple units within the complex, and the Poudre Fire Authority and Fort Collins Police are still investigating the cause. This is the first fatal fire to occur in Larimer County so far this year. Information about the victim has not yet been released.
CSU isn't the only place in Fort Collins with some incredible teachers. A principal in the Poudre School District is getting national attention for her leadership. Aisha Thomas from Zach Elementary School was recognized by the U.S. Department of Education on Tuesday. She is a winner of the Terrell H. Bell Award for Outstanding School Leadership. Only 11 principals across the nation received the honor. In an interview with the Coloradoan, Thomas said, "I'm really excited. I feel very honored and overwhelmed. I really feel like the award is just a reflection of what my staff does every day." For the full list of winners, you can visit nationalblueribbonschools.ed.gov.
The Superintendent of the United States Air Force Academy, Lieutenant General J.B. Silveria, spoke tonight at the LSC Theater. Silveria spoke on the significant roles that integrity and voicing values has played in his life. We'll bring you more coverage on this event on Tuesday.
Last night, ASCSU Senate passed a bill for the CSU Multi-Faith and Belief Council. The Women's Caucus Chair, Meryl Sharif, introduced a bill to the Senate to allocate $306 to the Multi-Faith and Belief Council for their Interfaith Thanksgiving dinner. The dinner is an annual event where people of CSU and Fort Collins can, quote, celebrate the American tradition to come and bring together different faith groups. The money will allow the council to purchase 24 aprons for the dinner, which will be held on November 7th. Due to its time urgency, the Senate expedited the bill and passed it with a 33-1-2 vote. The aprons will be reused at the dinner each year. For the full report on last night's ASCSU, you can check today's Collegian paper.
Conservative talk show host Dennis Prager will be coming to campus this Monday. The event, titled Dennis Prager, Why America Needs Traditional Values to Flourish, was funded in part by the Board for Student Organization Funding of CSU Student Government, ASCSU. The total cost to bring Prager to campus was around $15,000, according to the CSU Turning Point USA chapter President Isabel Brown. The event will be held in the Laurie Student Center Ballroom Monday evening.
The LSC will be welcoming another restaurant for students to enjoy. The restaurant space in the basement of the LSC has been empty since 2016, when Cache Le Crepe closed after about a year. The new restaurant, called 5030, will be holding a soft opening tomorrow. A grand opening will happen in the next few weeks.
That's all we have for news tonight, Rams.
But stay tuned for weather, sports, and entertainment coming up next on CTV.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hey!
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Oh, hey there, Rams. I didn't see you. I was too busy checking out these beautiful current conditions we're having. Welcome back to Thursday Weather. I'm your host, Carson Porterfield. Let's get right into it. It is a beautiful 58 degrees outside right now, with that sun setting about an hour earlier, but it's okay because it is a gorgeous night out tonight and a great time to enjoy this beautiful Fort Collins weather. Well, it was a gorgeous fall day today with cloudy skies and warm weather, with colorful trees giving our campus even more beauty and life than it already has. With Halloween coming up next week, it's the perfect mood for some scares and maybe even some frights. All right, going into tonight's lows, things will be a little chilly all across Colorado. Looking first, On the I-25 corridor, it's going to be about 42 up in Fort Collins, 44 in Denver, 39 in Colorado Springs, and 40 in Pueblo. The low of 38 in Lamar, 34 in Lehman, 40 in Burlington, and 39 in Sterling. Looking over here in the mountains, it's going to be very chilly in Alamosa at 27 and Telluride at 25 and Gunnison at 26. Thankfully, Grand Junction will be at about a low of 40 at 37 in Vail and 32 in Craig. Well, things will definitely heat up tomorrow, as all across Colorado it is going to be hot and toasty in this awesome state we live in. Looking along the I-25 corridor, it's going to be 69 in Fort Collins, 70 in Denver, 65 in Colorado Springs, and 70 in Pueblo. Looking on the mountainside, 60 in Alamosa, 59 in Gunnison, 65 in Grand Junction, 54 in Vail, 60 in Craig, and the coldest it's going to get is about 50 in Telluride. Coming to the other side, it's going to be about 70 in Lamar, 64 in Lehman, 68 in Burlington, and 70 in Sterling. Well, tomorrow's forecast is going to be even more beautiful than it was today, with a high of 69 temp with partly cloudy and hot weather. Thankfully, that wind will be pretty low at the highest of 6 miles per hour coming from the southeast, and that sun setting at about 6 p.m. All right, Rams, as most of you know, tomorrow is the Border Wars, where the CSU Rams are going against the Wyoming Cowboys. As we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, things are going to look great all along the day. At 5 p.m., around tailgate time, things will be about 66 degrees. Going to about 6 p.m., things will cool down just a little bit at 62 degrees. At 8 p.m. is kickoff, where things will drop down just a little bit more to 56 degrees. At about halftime at 9:30, it will be 54 degrees. And around the game ends at 11 p.m., it'll be 51 degrees. So it should be an awesome night, great time for football, but make sure you bring a light jacket just so you don't get too cold. Looking at our 5-day forecast, this Monday is going to be an awesome 73 degrees outside, so get out and enjoy it. It's definitely going to drop a lot on that Tuesday, going down to 54 degrees. Thankfully, on Wednesday, it's Halloween time, and it's the perfect weather at 50 degrees and sunny all day and beautiful skies at night. So it's a great time to get out there and do some trick-or-treating. On that Thursday, some rain will be coming in at a high of 58, so things shouldn't be too cold, but it will be a little wet out there. On Friday, those clouds will clear out just a bit, and that sun will be peeking out with a high of 43. Well, Rams, that's all I got for you. Up next, we got Jared Stratton with sports. Good night.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from the break in a Thursday night sports show. I'm Jared Stratton, here to catch you up on everything going on in CSU athletics. The CSU cross-country team is heading to the Mountain West Championships tomorrow, starting at 9 in the morning for the women's and 9:45 for the men's. The men's team is looking to defend their Mountain West title from last year after their first championship win in program history. If they are able to win again, it would be the third time in history that a men's team has won their conference in 2 consecutive years. They are arguably better off than last year, too, with a preseason rank of 9th place in the nation, which is the highest preseason ranking ever for the program. On the women's side, they were nationally ranked for the first time since 2008, and it was the first time since 2005 that both the men's and women's have been ranked in the same year. With history on the line, the Rams will undoubtedly be playing their hearts out during the championships. The CSU swim and dive team took to the Wyoming Cowgirls yesterday for their home opener. The Rams started off the event winning the 200 medley relay by only half a second. Sophomore Maddie Ward helped win the relay as well as winning the 100 and 200-yard backstroke. Tanisha Thomas also won twice last night with a tied win in the 100 backstroke and winning the 200 by half a second. Former Mountain West Swimmer of the Year and senior Haley Rowley took second place for 3 events, giving the Cowgirls a true run for their money. The strong Ram performances were sadly overshadowed by an overall loss, with the final score of the event being 163 to 131. CSU is now 1-3 on the season and are 0-1 in league play. The Rams compete again in the Phil Hansel Invite on November 16th through the 18th and don't play at home until January 19th against the Air Force. The Denver Broncos had a hectic couple of few days, but we got you covered. First, the Broncos quarterback Chad Kelly, also known as Swag Kelly, has been cut from the Broncos. Chad, has had off-field issue in the past, but this one takes a cake. On Monday night, Von Miller threw a Halloween party for his teammates, but Kelly ended up going to the wrong house. After entering that house, he saw the homeowner and decided to sit on their couch with their child, mumbling incoherently. Then, her husband proceeded to beat him with the pole from a vacuum cleaner to force him out of the house. This might just be the weirdest way to not only be kicked off an NFL team, but also be kicked out of a house. Granted, it is still under investigation, and it is presumed he was under the influence. Chad Kelly has had some serious off-field issues, and maybe some time during an off-season will help him get his act together. The Broncos have stated they will help him in any way possible, but can't employ him any longer. It was a blessing in disguise, though, for former CSU quarterback Garrett Grayson, who gained a position with the Broncos on their practice squad due to the incident. Former practice squad wide receiver Isaiah McKenzie was promoted to the active roster, opening up the spot for Grayson. Garrett Grayson holds a record for most yards and completions as a CSU Ram, but has never been able to live up to that hype in the pros, being cut 4 times by 2 teams. If he can be promoted to the active roster, he'll be able to compete for the quarterback spot, which consists of Case Keenum, Kevin Hogan, and Emmanuel Sanders. Well, Emmanuel Sanders for one play. The Broncos currently only have 1 CSU player in the active roster with Shaquille Barrett, and Garrett Grayson might just end up being the second. But for now, the team's focused on the upcoming Chiefs game this Sunday at 11 in the morning. The Rams right now are playing the San Diego State Spartans, and they're winning in the very first with 8-5 score, and they're looking lights out on offense, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can hold out on that. But that's all the time I have for you today. But make sure to check CTV Sports on Twitter to keep updated on that CSU volleyball game going on right now. But don't leave just yet. Up next, we have Colin Sanders with some entertainment.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Rams. I'm Colin Sanders, and I have all the entertainment from interesting to scary for you right now. The Fort Collins Crossroads Safe House went from being a 4-bedroom home to a safe haven that can hold 500 victims of domestic abuse and violence. Today, they hosted the We Care Breakfast for Change at the Hilton Hotel as outreach about domestic abuse and violence. The breakfast had 2 guest speakers who both have dealt with domestic violence in hopes to shed light on the difficult topic. The Crossroads Safe House helps about 3,500 people a year, as well as offers educational outreach to anyone willing to learn about these acts of violence. I'm not one for learning, but this is something I'd be happy to educate myself on. CSU has been known for at least 100 years for having an amazing agricultural department. However, this Aggie industry, much like other industries like engineering and science, has had issues breaking through to women. Luckily for CSU, a new club has formed in hopes to break the gender stereotypes in the agriculture industry. The club is called Women in Agriculture Association. The club meets every first and third Tuesday of every month. The club was founded by Brooke Childers in the fall of 2018 and invites people from all different majors to come together and collaborate. The club wants to build a network of people all across disciplines to appreciate the contribution women make to modern agriculture.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream.
It looks like Aggie is quickly becoming Ag-she. The witching season has come to Fort Collins just in time for Halloween. A northern Colorado magician named Paul Knopfsinger came to Fort Collins last Friday, October 19th, to the Community Creative Center in Old Town. Knopfsinger and his friends refused to do the traditional rabbit-in-the-hat magic, but instead what they do is called paranormal show and tell. Most of Knopfsinger's tricks and stories involve supernatural items and curiosities from years of magic's past, such as tarot cards, Ouija boards, and a whole apothecary kit. Knopfsinger used his tricks to figure out audiences' personalities and other hidden traits people may have. He's been so good at what he does that he even became a finalist on America's Got Talent, and now coaches other aspiring magicians. I wonder if he would tutor me. It could be just what I need to finally get accepted into Hogwarts. This show may not be Ghost Adventures, but I got pretty darn close as I forced myself to explore somewhere beyond scary. This past weekend, I explored a place no sane man would want to go. Just southeast of Loveland at Fritzler Farm Park is Scream Acres, the haunted corn maze where fear rules all.
So Scream Acres is brand new this year. We went through top to bottom with our new brand as Fritzler Farm Park. We felt like we needed to put on a really good show. Brought in some really great friends of mine. We sat down, brainstormed, had some other people come in and build rooms. And so we have a brand new haunted house, and it is absolutely phenomenal.
As I started going through Scream Acres, I was unprepared for what I was getting myself into.
Whoa!
I like that it reference. That was good. Keeping up to date. Oh! Ugh! No! Ah! Oh, no, and oh. The scary part that we were guided through is over, and now they just let us on our own, which might not have been a good decision in this maze. And I am very directly challenged, so I know I'm going to be lost forever, probably. Now at this point, I'm just trying to stay calm, cool, and collected, because, you know, our sanity is good to have. Now I feel like we're walking backwards. Do you have any idea?
I thought we were on the right track, but not anymore.
Does it feel like we're walking backwards?
Yes.
Should we?
I mean...
Yes, maybe? After wandering helplessly, I finally got out alive. Wow, I'm lucky I made it out alive. If it wasn't for the help of Ryan and Chris, I probably would still be stuck in that haunted corn maze. Scream Acres will be open every night from now till Halloween. You can purchase tickets online using the link below, or in person at the ticket booth in the center of the park. Cha-ching! The Mega Million Powerball of $1.6 billion, which is the highest it has ever been, was just won by a single ticket holder in South Carolina, where the odds were said to be 1 in 300 million. However, 7 Colorado residents in Denver were very close to the jackpot with only one number away. But lucky for them, their tickets are still worth some serious cash. According to the Colorado Lottery, their tickets are worth $1,500, and 2 tickets are even worth a whopping $30,000. This increase of cash could really go a long way for a poor little college kid like me. I guess I shouldn't have used all of my rent money on lottery tickets. Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm going to need some cash later. Thank you so much for watching tonight, Rams. I'm Colin Sanders, and that's all I have time for you. But don't forget to tune in next week. Have a great evening and an awesome weekend.